Hi guys, my name is Lucia, and today I thought it would be fun to do a video all about my makeup predictions of what the beauty industry will look like in 10 years, in 2029, which I can't even wrap my head around. Like, I will be 30 at that point. That is crazy. Also, you can probably hear my voice. I lost my voice a day ago or 2 days ago, so if I sound really hoarse, it's because I am. But let's go ahead and get into it. So I was trying to think about the future, which is really hard because the future is so unknown, but I was trying to base it off of where the makeup industry has gone thus far, and I was thinking about how there's all these new releases all the time, and I don't think anything is going to be slowing down. I think the consumers are going to get tired. So I definitely think the rate that things are coming out at now, they're not going to stop. But there's going to be a really big rise, even more than there already is, of indie brands that are not releasing all these new things all the time. If you go on Trendmood now, you will see way more than ever before are a lot of popular indie brands that are coming out, usually eyeshadow palettes. That's kind of like the big thing that indie brands are doing right now. And they don't release hundreds of things every month, but people are still really excited about their releases. And that's my first prediction. I think that indie brands will have a lot more success than they even have right now. Not that they're unsuccessful, but I think that we might not even think of them so much as indie brands. It'll just be that there are more standard popular brands, some of which happen to be indie. I also think as consumerism rises and as all these makeup releases rise, I think the minimalism community will continue to rise. I think that more people will start to be aware of just how much makeup they're buying and how things go bad, and I think that people will start to make more smarter decisions and will start to purchase things for a more curated collection. Of course, that's not going to be everybody, but I definitely have seen a rise in that community, the community that I am in, and the stuff that I talk about all the time on my channel. And I almost feel like the makeup industry might get behind that. They might see that that is something that is happening, and they might try to use that to their advantage. Like, makeup ads might cater towards minimalists, and they might say like, oh, this is the one thing that you need or something like that. I'm not quite sure how that would work, but I can see that becoming so big that the industry catches on and they almost use that as a tactic to get you to buy stuff. I also think that we will see, and we were already seeing, a really big shift in the brands that dominate the industry. I've talked about this before, how 5 or 10 years ago, MAC and NARS, they were everything. And now they're big companies, but they're not everything. And if you don't own something NARS or something MAC, you're fine. So there are a couple brands that I think will really fall to the wayside. One being, of course, Kat Von D. I see Kat Von D going out of business. I don't know if that's naive of me to think that a whole big company like that could go out of business, but that's just something that I see happening. Her brand isn't doing great. She's not really making smart decisions as a person that will help her brand, and I can see it just going downhill. I can see in 10 years Kat Von D not existing as a brand. I also think that MAC is going to go way downhill. I don't think they're going to go out of existence, but I think that they're going to struggle. I can see MAC having a bit of a struggle. I think even right now, I don't know the numbers. I'm not in the company, I'm not in the office, but just in terms of reviews and what I see, they're not on the forefront. I also think a brand that is not going to be as popular is Urban Decay. I think Urban Decay and the Naked palette was the height of Urban Decay. And in my opinion, I just don't see them ever reaching that point again of having that hype. I don't see them doing anything that could beat the Naked palette. The Naked palette changed the game, and I just don't see Urban Decay keeping up with the times in the industry right now the way that they seem to be back then, and because of that, I don't think they will be in 10 years. I don't think they're going to have new ideas. I don't think they're going to be creative. I don't necessarily think they're going to go out of business, but I don't see them being that popular. So what brands are going to be popular? I think Colourpop will dominate the industry. And I kind of already feel like in a way they do. They are so popular. They rose essentially from nothing, and now they are this big brand. They are sold in Ulta. They were sold in Sephora for a minute. I don't know if they still are, but they're really big, and I think they're going to continue to grow. I could see their prices going up a little bit as they continue to grow, but I really think they are going to continue to be a credible brand with credible products that are good quality. I also, and you might be surprised that I'm going to say this, because if you watch my videos, especially my Make Up Your Mind videos, you will know that I don't love Too Faced, but I can see Too Faced dominating the industry in 10 years, and it's not because I like them, because I don't, but I think that they have such a big audience and they cater to what a lot of people want. Even though it's not what I want, I don't see them going down on the ladder in terms of popular brands anytime soon. Another brand that I was thinking about was Anastasia, because Anastasia really changed the game with the Modern Renaissance palette. I think that was the product that made all of the other brands say, oh, we need orange and red tones, and now that's not so much anymore. But it's hard to say. I think they're in kind of a neutral place right now. The palettes that they've been coming out with are interesting. They're not mind-blowing. They're not industry-changing, but they're interesting. But I can also see them going down a similar road as Urban Decay. I can see them falling out of pace with consumers and what we want. So I don't know. What do you guys think about Anastasia? What do you think they will be like in 10 years? I also think Natasha Denona is going to stay really popular. I think she's going to get even more popular because I think the idea of spending so much money, almost a forbidden amount of money on an eyeshadow palette, for some reason, I think that that's going to get even more popular, even though, again, I don't want to spend that money. I can't see myself spending that money on Natasha Denona products, but I can see her brand getting even more popular than it already is. Of course, those are just a select few brands that I picked out. I didn't want to talk about all the brands that are popular because I don't have opinions on all of them, what they'll be like in 10 years, and also that would take forever. But let me know maybe your top 2 or 3 brands that you think are going to do really well and that you think are not going to be around in 10 years. I would love to hear. Let's talk about some makeup trends. I am going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to say that in 10 years, I don't think liquid eyeliner is going to be a thing. I don't think it is. I think that it was really, really popular around 2000 and let's say 13 to 16. I think that if you were doing a makeup look and you didn't do a liquid eyeliner cat flick, what were you even doing? Like, everything that I watched when it came to makeup tutorials and makeup looks had a wing. And now it's not so much like that. Now it's more about perfect blending and making sure that you have a really defined eye look with your eyeshadow. And of course, so many people still use liquid eyeliner, but I just don't think it's as popular as it used to be. And personally, I used to wear liquid eyeliner every single day. That used to be, if you were to say to me, Lucia, what is the one makeup product or makeup look that you could do, I would say eyeliner. Give me liquid eyeliner. That is the only thing I care to have on my face. And I don't know why, because it looked awful on me. My eye shape isn't good for liquid eyeliner, and a lot of people's eye shapes aren't. And I think a lot of people were trying to make it work when it wasn't. Now, if you have an eye shape that is good for liquid eyeliner, I'm jealous of you. I want that. But I don't know. I just see it as something that more and more people are going to say, this is difficult, it doesn't work with too many eye shapes, and I think it's just gonna fall away. I don't think it'll ever be gone completely, but I don't think it'll be popular anymore. I was thinking about face makeup, and I was thinking about how we are so into sculpting right now. Not necessarily as much as we used to be. When Kim Kardashian started sculpting her face, we all got into contouring, and then maybe 3 or 4 years ago was like the year of contour palettes, maybe even before that, maybe 5 years ago, when everyone was buying contour palettes, everyone was trying to find the best contour palette, and now I don't really think contour palettes are that popular anymore. And I would go as far as to say that I think contouring has already fallen to the wayside. People still bronze their face. I don't really see that many people taking the extra steps to contour, and I think that that's just something that's going to fall away. I might even go as far as to say that draping might become the new contouring. Draping is when you use blush to accentuate your cheeks the way you would bronzer, but instead of making your cheeks look slimmer, it kind of makes them look more plump and of course brings more color to them. I don't necessarily think draping is going to become super popular, but I just think we're going to get further and further away from bronzing, and it might even get to the point where shimmer bronzers become really popular again. Something like that, something where having these chiseled features isn't necessarily the look that everyone is going for. And I also think that glitter is gonna go to a new level. I think that we're gonna start putting, maybe not glitter per se, but I think we're gonna start putting shimmer in foundation, and we're gonna start using more shimmery bronzers. I just can see that people are gonna want more dewy, glowy faces. Now, of course, like, I don't know what people are gonna want in 10 years, but I can just see that happening. I don't know. Another trend that I can see becoming more popular is the freckles on your face. I know a lot of people get crap for putting freckles on their face using liquid eyeliner to make that, and I think that in 10 years, that'll be something that is the norm. I think a lot of people will be doing that. I also think the rise of men wearing makeup, but not just men wearing makeup, men having knowledge of makeup. I think in 10 years, that'll be way more than it is right now. A lot of gay men and drag queens wear makeup right now, and I think that, you know, cishet men are a little more worried about their manhood and about the fact that if they know what makeup is or if they wear makeup, then they're not manly enough. And I could rant about that, as you can probably tell by my expressions, but I don't think that'll be as much in 10 years. I think that it'll just be more normal for men to at least know what's happening with makeup if they're not wearing it themselves. But I can also see men, you know, more macho men or people who right now would never associate with makeup and don't want to even know what that is because it's not manly enough. I can see that going away, especially with all the nonconformity with gender that's been happening recently, which I am so here for. This is also just me hoping that gender stereotypes, how we know them, will fade away. Hopefully the lines will be a little bit more blurred. I don't think they'll ever go away completely because consumerism, but I hope that they're blurred a little bit more than they are now. I also think lip gloss is gonna come back because what I was saying about, I think people are gonna be into dewy and shimmery looks even more than they are now. I think there's just gonna be like another 2000s hype with the lip gloss. Not that lip gloss isn't unpopular now, but it kind of is. We are just coming out of the era of liquid lipsticks. We're just coming out of the era of having to have matte, and now a lot of people are starting to use lip gloss again more frequently, but I would go as far as to say that I think lip gloss is gonna come back the way that liquid lipstick was so popular. And that leads me to my last thing, which is I don't think liquid lipstick is gonna be popular at all. I definitely don't think it's gonna go anywhere. It has made its place into the industry. It has its purpose, and I think that that is valuable. I own a liquid lipstick. It's a red, and I hope to always own red for liquid lipsticks because it just stays so well, but I don't see people going out and buying every shade of liquid lipsticks. I don't see that many new liquid lipsticks being released. I think we're set. We went crazy with liquid lipsticks. We have enough now, and I just don't see that coming out the way it used to. I feel like there's gotta be something else though that is gonna happen with lips, and I honestly don't know what, because I feel like we've covered our basis, but I'm sure people said that before liquid lipsticks came out, and then they came out. So that's one that I can't really put my finger on what I think is gonna happen, but I think something is bound to happen within 10 years, something new that has to do with lips. All right, guys, that was everything for this video. Let me know what your makeup predictions are. I would love to know. This was just a fun video, me kind of trying to figure out what would happen in 10 years. It freaks me out to think about it being 10 years from now, but it would also be interesting if YouTube is even still a thing to watch this video in 10 years and be like, what's happening here? So hi Lucia, in 10 years, if you're watching, I probably won't even have this channel anymore, but I don't know. All right, I'm just rambling at this point. That is it for me. Please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye.